What's up YouTube? It's Big Fish here with another reaction video. Today we're here with MSNBC and they're talking about what Americans are disliking about the Republican Party. Now it shows that it's not a big what? I can't even think of the word, but it wasn't a lot of people that voted on this poll. So it's what looks like only about 35-36%. That's not really giving us a big sample size. But let's hear them rebuttal to why the numbers are like that.
Joining us, former communications director and spokesman for Congressman Hakeem Jeffries and former staffer for Senator Dick Durbin, Michael Hardaway. Governor Kasich still with us. We are about to celebrate our 250th anniversary in this country. And
250 years. Man, we're still a baby technically. I wonder what country is younger than us. What place are we in?
Americans are looking at Washington and they're saying, I don't like anybody. And I think that sucks. That's depressing. How do we fix it?
Well, we have to remember we're on the same team. The governor and I disagree on some things, but we're on the same team. And that's one thing that we have to remember as Americans. We can disagree on policy, but at the end of the day, we have to be together. And I think that has eroded over the last several decades. We can criticize policy. We don't.
I agree wholeheartedly about what he's saying. But too bad the last 2 years we've seen we're not on the same side. We're on the same team. That goes from the political parties. They're fighting in the Senate. And it goes for the people. The everyday me, you people. And these loonies. It's so decisive. Everybody's divided and it's ugly. It really is. Why can't we just disagree peacefully, as they said they're doing? But it's getting pretty ratchet out here.
To criticize people.
Yeah, but so many Americans now, Democrats will look at Republicans and say, well, these people are trying to open the door for authoritarianism. They are getting rid of our democracy.
They're ramping up the authoritarianism. I almost butchered that. The authoritarianism. They are ramping it up because the more they keep trying to assassinate Trump, the more they keep coming at different Trump supporters, the more they keep with these riots and attacking ICE. We're going to have to put authority on their butt. It's going to be belt to ass. And it's going to be their fault because they just wouldn't let it happen. Obama did the same thing. No one complained.
Trampling our democracy in service of one man. They're not playing by the rules. They're not playing fair. How can we respect them? How can we work with them?
Katie, I mean, look, people on both sides look at the other side as being an existential threat to their way of life. If you're a Republican, oh my God, I can't. Texas, Paxton, is he going to win? Probably he'll win. I mean, maybe squeaker.
He didn't say nothing. He literally said absolutely nothing. What are we scared of Democrats about? When they were in power, they were keeping us silent. They had us on hush. We couldn't even talk about COVID. You couldn't say that word. You'd be struck down by lightning.
And the reason, I think, is because it's cultural. And what Republicans will say, oh, I can't vote for a Democrat. The same is true for Democrats. They go, I can't vote for a Republican. That's the worst thing in the world. I was with Chuck Todd the other day, who's a former host of Meet the Press, and he was pointing out that it took a number of presidential elections after Lincoln to get the country righted. I hate to think that we have to go through a whole bunch more elections, but I thought his point was really well made, and I'm sick about it. You're sick about it. You're sick about it. What I'm hoping is going to happen if the Democrats win the House, which I think they will, is I want Hakeem Jeffries, and we'll talk about this when we're done here, can he reach out to Republicans and get a small coalition of people for them to start pulling the power back into the legislative branch?
But do you think the Republicans would want to do that?
Some would.
You think so? Like
Absolutely.
Like
Some would. Well, Fitzpatrick, if he's elected, yeah. I mean, if he's not defeated, I mean, he's a guy that's always for that. There are others. There's not a giant group of them, but there's probably a group of 25 or 30 of them. that I think would do that.
I mean, Hakeem has spent his entire career working across the aisle, criminal justice reform with the Trump White House the first time.
They said they hope Hakeem Jeffries, Hakeem Timu Obama Jeffries, Hakeem, what am I doing here, Jeffries? They think Hakeem is going to, man, they are out of their mind.
Around, worked with Doug Collins from Georgia, worked on patent reform as well with the Republicans, and so he's open to that, I think.
I think one of the issues when you talk about both sides, and this is a fair criticism, one side's denying the results of an election. And when you talk about Ken Paxton, okay, maybe he's going to win, but Ken Paxton denied the results of the 2020 election and was investigated for trying to get it overturned. Aren't there some red lines that you should not cross?
Well, I wouldn't vote for the guy if I was living in Texas. So, yeah, I mean, are there some things you shouldn't say? That's right, but it's true on both sides. I mean, there are people in the Democratic Party that said that George W. Bush never was elected president properly.
I mean, you can't compare that. You can't compare what is happening now to a couple of people back then.
Well, I mean,
and also the George W. Bush thing was over ballots. I mean, it's just a different thing. Donald Trump just denied the results because he did not like them. There were not any
I could have swore Hillary did the same thing. She said, I won the popular vote, but he won electoral vote. How can he had beat me? She thought it was stolen. Okay. I guess we just forgot about that.
Investigations that were found to have merit, no evidence of fraud that was found to have merit, nothing that would change the results.
Questioning the 2020
the Florida
election
story is not quite, it's apples and oranges.
It's coming from the top for the first time. It's never been that way before.
Yeah.
You get members of Congress say things, but the president has never bullied his opponents or called them pigs or dogs. I love dogs, by the way. That's not necessary. They dragged them into this. That's the difference here. We've never had the president himself driving this conversation.
See, I'm beside myself, not just because of Republicans. I'm beside myself because we're all clinging to our own base. You know, and can we say Republicans are doing it more? You know, I'm not sure what I am anymore. You know, I'm an independent now, basically. I'm still a registered Republican. I'm still a conservative, but you know, but I'm bitterly disappointed with what they talk about with the, you know, the January 6th and all that.
Would you vote for James Tallarico in Texas?
Why do they keep bringing up these fraud Republicans up here? This man said he thinks the Democrats are going to win the House. Like, the stuff that's coming out of his mouth doesn't sound like a Republican at all. Why do they keep bringing these phonies up here? Why?
If you were not going to vote for Ken Paxton? Because that's a question for Cornyn supporters.
Well, I mean, I think I'd have to see all that he's for. I'd think about it.
Brother, oh my gosh. Just a couple seconds ago, he said he would not vote for Ken Paxton if he was down in Texas. Now he said, I would have to do my research. I don't know. These people are fake. They're grifters. And these boomers, they got to get out the way. I'm so tired of seeing all of these boomers still around here. They got the benefit from the time they lived in. They had cheap housing. They had all the fun, sexual revolution, being the hippie drugs. Whoo, they had everything. It's time to move out the way. It's time for a new generation. But my generation, sadly, is infested with feminism, soy boys, boys that want to dress up as girls. Like, it's tough out here. It quite honestly is. And the Democrats started this charade all with Obama.
The fact that this guy was convicted by the Republican House in Texas.
Impeached.
And, you know, I don't like that. I'm just saying to you that, Katie, at what point do we say we want to burn a bridge on somebody that has a different view of than I do? And particularly if the view is something I really don't like. Do I write them off and just never speak to them again, or do I figure out a way to reach out? When I was in the House, I demonstrated an ability to do that. When I was governor, I did the same thing. People say things all the time that get your blood boiling and everything else.
Has it gotten so bad that people want that?
We're going to stop right there because my blood isn't boiling, but hearing him talk, he's just full of hypocrisies. He's just chatting, just yapping to play up to the crowd. on both sides, quite honestly. He's trying to be neutral, but he's not neutral. You can just see. It really is quite sad to see. But we all have our different opinions. We all go for a political party for a reason. We believe that we're going to benefit off of it. But quite honestly, they don't always have our best interest in mind. Trump is doing some good stuff, but there's some stuff he ran on that is biting him in the butt. He said he was going to end the Russia-Ukraine war. That didn't happen. Did we think it was really going to happen? In our hearts? Yeah. In our brains? Probably not. He has ended a lot of other wars, which is beautiful. And the thing with Iran right now, I don't want it to drag on, and I don't want to see troops on the ground. But we got to keep our foot on their necks, quite honestly. Is it our fault that their whole political system is a little bit crashed? Or a lot of it crashed? Yeah. For the whole time that we're in there, back in the early 2000s during the Bush era. But we got to keep our heads up, and we got to float above the water so we don't drown and get caught up in this sad corruption. I don't know how the Democrats bounce back after everything we found from the last 2 years with the USID, with the scamming in Minnesota, with all these, with the January 6th, and we found out that there were literal FBI agents inside the crowd. Like, it's just so much craziness is happening right now, and it's so decisive. And we're all trying to find that person to listen to that can at least be coherent about what they're listening. They can break it down, and they can not try to play the one side. Although, man, it's kind of hard not to play the one side because the Democrats are just they're crashing and burning. They really are. In all these cities where they're the mayors, New York, well, not New York, although it's a state, but in Manhattan, Chicago, Virginia, I'll probably say Charleston, California, Los Angeles, like, whew, Minneapolis, all these cities with these Democratic mayors they're just burning. But go down to the comment section. Tell me how you felt about the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace.